Welcome to Snetterton for the Great and British Dunlop Festival. 4 titles all up for grabs, including the Millie Challenge Championship, the Ginetta GT Series. But in this programme, we're looking at the Radical Enduro and the Biduro categories. These are the Dunlop Radical Biduros. They are SR4 sports cars, all manufactured to the same specification with no modifications permitted. They're powered by PowerTech Kawasaki 1200cc engines, producing 190 brake horsepower. And despite the tricky conditions, top man in qualifying was James Saggers. And James Saggers was fastest, but it was only by a fraction of a second. He's starting on dry tyres today, but Guy Hodgkin behind him is on wet tyres, and that could play a critical part in this race.
The lights about to go. Oh, Guy Hodgkin nudging it forward as away we go with Chris Stoney on board. Guy Hodgkin, though, looking for the wet line because he is on wet tyres. James Saggers alongside him, as I've mentioned, is on dry. In they go. So they start fighting in 7 is Simon Packett. He slots up in the 3rd. Daniel McKenzie's there as well. It's Guy Hodgkin who leads, though. James Saggers 2nd, Simon Packett 3rd. Chris Stoney, great performance from him. He's up into 4th. Daniel McKenzie is 5th. But away he goes, Guy Hodgkin, making the most of those tyres. But how quick will this circuit dry out? It is early in the day. And it just seems as if we've got lots of wet patches all over the circuit. But it's Guy Hodgkin who leads. 7 is Simon Packett. He's up into 2nd. Oh, not anymore. He's gone. He's gone. Simon Packett slid off. Over the line he goes, and his advantage is increasing with each lap. Chris Stoney keeping him in his sight still. But I don't think he's got enough to get close to Guy Hodgkin. But remember, Guy Hodgkin is on wet tyres. Mark Pyle way down the order. He's in about 15th at the moment. Chris Stoney, he'll be in amongst the back markers as well any moment. Simon Packett looking to make a move on James Saggers. Goes round the outside into Riches. Saggers defends the line. Not much has happened in terms of removing the wet stuff off the surface at Snetterton. Oh, Simon Packett's overcooked it. Simon Packett off the track. Not far to go then for the man who continues to lead this race. He's led from the start all the way. Great drive from Guy Hodgkin. Simon Packett comes to complete his lap as well. A case of what might have been, in the wars. That's Ian Moore, car 27, and number 11, Ian Simmons. In fact, as soon as he gets round Russell, he'll get a sign indicating there is only 1 more lap to go here at Snetterton. Chris Stoney will get that sign soon as well, as he makes his way through the traffic. With Chris Stoney, comfortable 2nd, but it's Guy Hodgkin who continues to lead this race on what is his victory lap, and what an advantage Guy Hodgkin has got. So last lap time then for Guy Hodgkin. Looking smooth, looking slick. And what a great way to start his 2006 campaign. Nick Sinfield then, the man in 3rd place, car 18. He'll get the last lap board as well. Chris Stoney looking to make his way through. Just the right place to get past the back marker. Down Rebbit straight he goes, up through the gears, and in the wars once again, Ian Moore, number 27. It really hasn't been his day. Well, it's been Guy Hodgkin's day, and the day's only just begun so far as he comes round. Just Russell's to negotiate, and then he has to negotiate the checkered flag as it's waved in front of him. Great start then for Guy Hodgkin. He gambled, it paid off. He's the winner.
The perfect start to the season for Guy Hodgkin. He gambled, and it paid off quite handsomely for him. Chris Stoney some 20 seconds for the backclaim 2nd, while Simon Packett has to come in for 3rd. The Dunlop Radical Enduro Championship has 2 drivers in 1 car, and they have a 3-lap window in the middle of each race in which to swap. There are two classes, the SR3s with 1500cc engines and the SR8s with two Hayabusa engines, making them 2.6 V8s. Richard Ince and Austin Kinsella are on pole.
Austin got a very good time after about a couple of laps. I'd warmed the car up, and we decided it's best just to sit there and not to wear the tyres up. It's two races, and obviously we can only change two tyres, so the longer we conserve the tyres, the better.
The final grid for the Dunlop Radical Enduro Championship, Ince and Kinsella are at the top of the grid overall and for the SR8 category as well, whilst it's the Devlin and Richardson combo that lead the SR3s.
We're on board with Steve Jones. He is effectively on row 2. In goes the safety car, so it's power on and certainly race on as they head over the start line. And already number 3, Richard Ince, is leading. We're on board with Steve Jones. Oh, and up the inside, that's Lee Atkins in car 4. Where has he come from? So Lee Atkins is up into 3rd already. Car 76 has to start from pit lane. But Steve Jones and Lee Atkins is up there as well. Oh, the fantastic start to this race. Well, if this is the barometer by which to judge this season, what a year we're in for. 28 is Nick Padmore, he leads. Lee Atkins is up into 2nd. Eugene O'Brien is up there as well. So too Steve Jones, Richard Ince. Car 30 is Richardson, the first of the SR3 class cars. So great start from him as well. 31, Nigel Redwood. Coming to complete the opening lap. And what an opening lap it's been. It's Padmore who leads in car 28. Lee Atkins is 2nd. We're on board with Steve Jones back down in 5th. Richard Ince, the man in front of him. Eugene O'Brien in car 21 is also going great guns as well. As Steve Jones looks to make his move. It doesn't stick. Well, 76, Mosley making his way through past the slower SR3 cars. Richard Ince in 4th still. Steve Jones still occupying 5th. But the way these two are going at it, hammer and tongue, it's a fair bet positions are going to change. And of course, we've got the changeover of drivers halfway through this race, so anything can happen then. As number 1, Nick Foster, makes his way out. He is 4th in the SR3 class. Changeover then for Andreas Dimitriou and Chris Nicholas, car 22. Doesn't sound good for Steve Jones. It's race over for Jones then. He was going so well, high up in the points as in comes 28. That is Nick Padmore. He is going to be replaced by Austin Reynolds. Austin Reynolds getting ready to get into his vehicle, car number 2. The vehicle of Nick Dove and Phil Abbott. 22 is Chris Nichols. He's in 4th place now. Oh my goodness! That is James Brakel, and 35 it looks like Philip Gibb, 2 of the SR3 cars. And in fact the safety cars come out. Here we go again with a replay. Not expecting to see someone parked on the outside of the corner at Sears. Safety car is going to pull in. We're going to be going shortly. They've waited a long, long time. They've all bunched up. There's only around 4 minutes of this race left to go, and it is 28 Austin Reynolds who leads. They're all mixed in, though. Chris Milner and Nichols as well are in there. Phil Quaife, though, in car number 4, he is 2nd overall. Ben Devlin in the SR3 is in 3rd. Chris Nicholas making a move on the race leader, Austin Reynolds. He goes through, but it is still Austin Reynolds that leads this one. 21 is Chris Milner. And he is behind Austin Reynolds, but it's Austin Reynolds who's leading this race. Down into Russell Bend then. Oh, onto the rumble strip goes Milner. So Chris Nicholas, I think I've got him down in 4th place at the moment, even though he leads on the road from Austin Reynolds. 27, that's Jackson, one of the Jacksons. Austin Reynolds then into the S's from the straight, the quick left, then the right. Austin Reynolds is coming under a lot of pressure from Phil Quaife. Oh, they're side by side as they head towards the line. The flag is out. There's nothing between them, but it looks as if Reynolds has just got the better of Quaife.
A close finish for the Dunlop Radical Enduros, but it was Atkins and Quaife that topped the result after the official confirmation, and for the SR8 class as well. The SR3s, it was Devlin and Richardson. Not one, but two happy men this time as the crew of race car number 4 take the opening victory of this year's championship. Welcome back to the Great British Weekend at Snetterton. This is round 1 in Norfolk. We're getting ready for the Radical Biduros, but problems for Daniel McKenzie, and it looks like he's out of the race before they've even formed up on the grid. And James Sadders is at the head of that grid with Guy Hodgkin. It's going to be a close race between those two, but Simon Packer will have Toby Newton alongside him now, with Daniel McKenzie seemingly out.
Any moment now we're going to go, of course, we're dry this time. Everyone on dry tyres. Waiting for the lights to go. And we're away. Great start. Everyone looks as if they're away cleanly with Chris Stoney, and he's certainly got a gallop on, moving up into 3rd place already. It's James Saggers who leads. 99 Guy Hodgkin is 2nd. Toby Newton goes 3rd. Mick Hyde is up into 4th. Great start from him. He started this one on row 4. And that's Mick Hyde, the rear of Mick Hyde. Looking at us. Oh, Chris Stoney gets sideways. Can he save it? Just about, but he's lost a position, 2 positions. James Saggers, no problems this time. He leads. Guy Hodgkin 2nd. Toby Newton 3rd. Mick Hyde is 4th. Malcolm Barnett's up there as well. Simon Packer in amongst the mix as well. Saggers leads. Hodgkin right on in 2nd. That's Nick Seinfeld. He qualified on row 4, but his race is run. Coming up to complete the opening lap then. Saggers still leads. Hodgkin 2nd. Gap opening up between Hodgkin and Toby Newton in car 50. Mick Hyde still there as well in 4th. And that's Mick Hyde at the front of this pack of 4. We're with the man in 7th place, Chris Stoney, looking to make a move on number 14, Roger Bromley. He's the man in 6th, but there's the man in 3rd. Toby Newton, car 50, with Mick Hyde on his case as well. Chris Stoney looking to find his way past Bromley. If he's going to do it, it'll be after this bend. Oh, they're going in on the brakes. Now the big long straight. Oh, so bumpy on the exit there, but here we go. Slipstreaming's what it's all about down here. And he's trying to slipstream Bromley, getting closer. He's going to make his move now. There he goes. And it's all about he who breaks latest into this corner. And it looks as if Chris Stoney's going to do it. He's now up on car 66. That's Malcolm Barnett. And Mick Hyde has gotten past Toby Newton, so Mick Hyde, great start from him. The question is, though, can he roll in the front pair? Toby Newton looking to certainly win back the place as they come to complete yet another lap. Still, it's James Saggers who leads. Guy Hodgkin is still in 2nd. Mick Hyde, of course, now into 3rd, as Hodgkin has a look on the outside of James Saggers, but he's not going to get past there. Saggers defends the line superbly. And also the battle going on for 3rd still. We're with Chris Stoney, our onboard man. He is in 6th place at the moment. That's Malcolm Barnett and John Hewitt, I think, that's in front of him. Maybe not close enough to slipstream on the straight. Certainly getting the power on. And 5, Saggers still leads 99 Hodgkin. Now, whether Hodgkin is waiting to make his move. Here goes Chris Stoney. Up past Malcolm Barnett. Hodgkin getting the power on as they cross the finish line once again. Saggers still keeping Guy Hodgkins at arm's length. In fact, he's got a slight advantage as Mick Hyde and number 50, Toby Newton, 3rd and 4th respectively, come into view as well. So it's still about these 4 at the top. Chris Stoney, all sorts of shapes there. We head down. In fact, he's smoking. That smoke coming out of Chris Stoney. I don't think that was the brakes. It looks as if Stoney might have a problem. Indeed, he has got a problem. The power's gone. So now, will he pull over before the bend? His arm goes up to signal that he has a problem. No one coming in behind. Oh, what a problem it is. He's on fire now. Maybe he doesn't know that. Certainly by raising his arm, I think anyone following would have seen the flames. And that really, oh, it really is catching. I don't think he knows about those flames. He's going to find out in a second, though, as he pulls up. So Chris Stoney certainly said, oh, the flame's really catching hold now. And the marshal should be here at any second. Chris Stoney, I bet he got a shock when he turned around and saw that then. There come the marshals. And that really is going like a good one. Hodgkin looking to make his move on Saggers. He's right on his case yet again. Into the left and then the right. Oh, he's gone too far. He's overcooked it. Not long to go as well. The finish in sight, and Guy Hodgkin has chucked away second place. 2 laps to go. Here we go again. Just loses it a bit. Too much eagerness to get past James Saggers. He knew time was running out. He's been trying the whole race through to get past Saggers, but this man, James Saggers, has defended his line superbly, driven a superb race as he comes around. Here's the checkered flag for James Saggers then. He wins.
A convincing drive from James Saggers, more than 8 seconds, the advantage of Hodgkin and Newton, who take second and third respectively. Mick Hyde, who did hold a podium place earlier on, has to settle for 4th.
It was perfect, just what I wanted. Got the fastest lap, like I said, and kept the lead really. I mean, it was difficult. You know, Guy was pushing hard. I had to watch out for him really.
Race 2 for the Dunlop Radical Enduros is getting ready to start. And it is these two, Reynolds and Padmore, that will be leading off the first lap of the SR8. Devlin and Richardson, the men once again that we'll be watching in the SR3s.
The safety car's in. We are good to go. And going good already, Eugene O'Brien in car 21. Great start from him. 28 is Austin Reynolds. Oh, on the inside of the 4, that's Lee Atkins. Great start from him as well. So Lee Atkins goes up into second. We've lost Austin Reynolds somewhere. We're on board with David Hodgson in car 65. And already Eugene O'Brien opening up a huge advantage at the start as we go down the straight. O'Brien leads, Atkins is second, 65 Hodgson just in ahead of Richard Ince. As they head into the S's then for the first time in race 2. Car 22, a lot of smoke coming out of the back of that machine. And a lot of flames coming out as well, so that's the end of the race for car 22. 65, David Hodgson. Number 3, Richard Ince leading Phil Abbott in car number 2. As they go around Russell Bend to complete the opening lap. It's 21 who leads, Eugene O'Brien, Lee Atkins in 4th. O'Brien is opening up a huge advantage. David Hodgson going well. There's a battle on, certainly for 4th place already between Ince and Abbott. Number 30 is the first of the SR3 cars. Round Rich as they go, they're heading down towards Sear Corner and then obviously onto the Revitt Straight. Nigel Redwood and Alex Mortimer, that's their vehicle. So problems for car 31. Now the problems for David Hodgson as we go into Russell. There's a back marker holding him up as he and Lee Atkins make their way through. Across the line yet again. And certainly Hodgson's got the power on as he makes his way past Lee Atkins. So Hodgson up into second place. Oh, no, he's not. No, he's not. Fantastic. Fantastic manoeuvre. Austin Reynolds then, he hands over to Nick Padmore. Halfway through this race, of course, the drivers change, and that is disaster for car number 1, retirement for Nick Foster. But his race is over in the SR3 class. More changes now. This is Richard Ince, he's coming in. Austin Kinsella ready to take over behind the wheel. Ben Devlin in car 30. none of the SR3s. Austin Kinsella in car 3. He's poised, ready to go, waiting for the signal. And away he goes, so he rejoins the fray. He should be somewhere around 5th place at the moment. 25, James Breakel in the SR3 class, number 60, just getting past is Richard Ferns. Phil Abbott getting ready to go. Here we go, Phil Abbott about to leave pit lane. So Hodgson in. Steve Jones getting ready to take over from David Hodgson. This is what happens when they change over at the halfway point in the race. They've got 3 laps in which to change the driver. Steve Jones is in. Battle for second, Austin Kinsella in car 3, Phil Abbott in car 2. Steve Jones ready then to rejoin. But it'll be interesting to see how many places he's lost. He's lost a few seconds there as someone else came in. So Steve Jones is up and running. Or maybe not. So Steve Jones has pulled over. He's got a problem. Calamity then for Steve Jones. David Hodgson was leading this race at one stage, but it's all over for Jones and Hodgson. The new race leader, Austin Kinsella then, coming down to Russell Bend. Completes another lap, and it looks like it's going to be his race. And the rain comes down. Well, it looks pretty grim. The rain is really lashing down now, so this was declared a dry race. It could go back. We could have Austin Kinsella declared the winner if a red flag comes out, because this is really coming down. And indeed, the red flag is out, so Austin Kinsella is going to win this.
Red flagged on the grounds of safety, but the second Radical Enduros was won by Austin Kinsella, and yet again in the SR3s it was Devlin and Richardson in the 30 car. A superb start to the season, and there will be more of the same at Brands Hatch for round 2.